mean, working on that movie, like, I remember a lot of jokes at the time about Jean-Claude being cast as all-American hero Guile in the film. But I'm right in thinking Capcom, the game maker, wanted him all along for this film.
Well, no, actually, they wanted a big action star. So originally they said, can you get Stallone? Can you get Schwarzenegger? And we just said, you can't afford them. They had a budget of $30 million. We ended up going a little bit over. You couldn't afford those guys. So by process of elimination, they finally said, what about Jean-Claude Van Damme? So I said, well, because to a degree this is an ensemble piece, I think we could work that out because we don't need him for 10 weeks. We need him for half that time. But there's a problem with his accent, and they're playing one of the American characters in the video game. And they go, what accent? Because they're watching his movies all dubbed into Japanese. So I ended up doing what has been done on a lot of his movies, mentioning he's from Louisiana. But as you tighten the movie up and make it go faster and faster and faster, somehow the line of dialogue about him from being Louisiana fell out of the movie. So, you just accept it. Well, Americans come in all they come in all flavors. But the one thing that I kept warning them, I said, his audience is going to expect an R-rated movie. And you want a PG-13 movie, there's going to be a disconnect there. But they wanted a PG-13 movie because they were very well aware how much of their fan base, dropping the quarters in the machine, were really young kids. And so ideally the sweet spot for them was PG-13 because teenagers would go and their younger brothers and sisters would go. Whereas if it was a G-rated movie, the little kids would go, I don't want to see a G-rated movie. And the older siblings would not go either. So that was the sweet spot, PG-13. You don't want R because you cannot advertise toys on American broadcast television or hamburger meals for an R-rated movie. It's baked into the advertising system. So as predicted, a lot of people were disappointed in the level of the action and violence because it was toned down. It was toned down even more than intended. Now, I had worked in, movies and in television. I worked in 8 o'clock television, which is family hour. And there's really hard and fast rules there. There's this presumption in broadcast television that all the children are in bed at exactly 8:30. So if you today watch a rerun of an American television show from the 80s, like The A-Team or Knight Rider, and you're just watching it in a rerun, and all of a sudden you get to a scene where somebody says, yeah, boss, I blew off that guy, Michael Knight. He doesn't suspect a thing. Only you and I know about the counterfeit money. And, boss, what are you doing? Put away the gun. Bang. You go, 8:31. Now, of course, there's 4 time zones in America. The whole idea is ridiculous. But I know how to do a PG-13 movie. So that's what I wrote. That's what I shot. But right before the movie came out, there was a minor school shooting. Not one of the big ones. In fact, nobody got hurt. But it was enough to trigger the, the movie, this movie is not yet rated, a movie about the rating systems, about this anonymous committee, like a housewife and a priest and a social worker. They looked at the picture and they rated it R. Even though I had shot, I was in the parameters. So we had to recut the movie, and they made us recut the movie again. It's rated R. And now the studio's getting really nervous. They've got the toys rolling off the trucks in the warehouse. They've got the hamburger deals. So I recut the movie one more time, taking out all any blood, taking out the sound effect of too many punches, doing cheats like somebody pulls their fist back, and we don't see the fist hit. We see the other person fall to the ground with an offstage thump, the kind of stuff you do Saturday morning cartoons, which I have done. So it's really getting watered down, the whole movie. They give us a G rating, G, and now the studio's in another panic. Oh my God, nobody, no self-respecting teenager will see a G rating movie. What are we going to do? I said, don't worry about it. So I had Jean-Claude Van Damme come back into the editing room. We plugged in a microphone, and there's a scene where he's rappelling down a rope to sneak into the villain's headquarters, and he says something, I'm getting too old for this shit. So now we send the movie in, the finished movie. We don't say anything and go, hey, what are you guys trying to pull? You changed the soundtrack since we gave you that G rating. well, you're not getting away with this. You're getting a PG-13. They go, oh no, we got a PG-13 rating. Oh, it's so horrible.
I mean, it's sort of well documented that your leading man on that movie, Jean-Claude, wasn't as reliable as you may have hoped. With you obviously directing this feature.
I never said a word about that until he did an interview with Playboy, and he said it, and then I said, okay, yes, I can confirm that was an issue.
Yeah, like
the studio hired a handler to watch him, and keep him on a short leash, but the handler ended up becoming an enabler.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
wow.